Hello everyone and welcome back to another exciting edition of Boyographic, the show in which I, Matt the Gameboy, talk you through the highs and lows of the Game Boy library. This week we're going to be looking at a fantastic game on the Game Boy that I myself was guilty of overlooking. It's Trax. When your average gamer thinks of HAL Laboratories, their thoughts jump to one of three game series: Smash Brothers, Mother, or Kirby. A game sadly overlooked in this company's prolific back catalogue is Trax, a beautifully realised top-down shooter that, as you can expect from the makers of Kirby, falls, at least in my eyes, into the cute-em-up territory with the likes of Twinbee and Fantasy Zone, a sentiment perhaps echoed by the game's Japanese title, Totsuki Ponsuku Tank, which translates roughly as Charge Junkie Tank. The game sees you take control of an adorably circular tank that breaks down while attacking your village. The villagers then fix it up for a little retaliation against the Republic of Akuda and its evil king. Unfortunately, you're massively outgunned and with a turret that can only turn right, which is done by pressing the A button while B allows you to shoot it. Your quest for revenge will see you roll across 4 stages: through the grasslands of your village, across the enemy's front lines in the Sarwatan Desert, through the treacherous mountain caves, before taking the fight to the enemy's front door in the capital city to take down the evil tank builder himself. Of course, each stage has its own unique visual stylings, even though for the large part of the various enemies remain the same, with fun boss fights midway through and at the end of each stage to keep you on your toes. As previously mentioned, your turret can only turn to the right, meaning you can't roll around and dish out death of these bosses half as quickly as you'd like. While tapping the A button will rotate your cannon faster than holding it down, it does mean that if you accidentally overcook your turret turns, you'll have to loop the whole way around again to land a shot. This is admittedly a little tedious at first, but soon becomes second nature, meaning you should get used to this limitation pretty quickly. There are various power-ups that can be found by blowing up the convoys in each stage: a burst shot, a piercing round, multi-directional firing cannonballs, and an explosive round, the animation of which seems to have been reused in Kirby's Dreamland. Also on offer is a fuel tank that acts as health, as getting hit by an enemy generally takes from around a quarter to a third of your health bar, as well as extra lives dotted around the stage from time to time. Not that you should need them per se, as Trax is a pretty easy game with only the lightest flux in difficulty when it comes to the game's end boss. If you do find yourself dying, however, the game offers unlimited continues, so you can keep going until you succeed. If you're a dab hand at Shmup's or pick up games pretty quickly, you could probably breeze through Trax in about 30 minutes. Which shouldn't really be taken as a criticism, as like Kirby's Dreamland, the game is one you're likely to come back to again and again. Right from the game's charming intro sequence to its very silly ending, Trax is a joy. Its solid physics, beautiful aesthetics, and almost flawless scrolling make this a game that has sadly not seen any love since its release. It never got a reference as a trophy in Smash Brothers. It's not got a 3DS eShop release, and even lacks a Wikipedia page, making information on Trax scarce, and bar small cameos in Kirby's Superstar on the Super Nintendo, and Superstars Ultra and Mass Attack on the DS as a Moto Shotzo, all but forgotten by HAL Laboratories themselves. Get a hold of Trax if you can, as not only is it a beautifully realised game, but because it really is a hidden gem on a system filled with treasures. If you can find 3 friends with copies also, you can even go head to head in the game's multiplayer mode using a 4-player adapter, which I'm hoping to do very soon and let you guys know about. There's no text in the game short of very direct menus, so other than the change of the Akuda flag in the intro, there's no real reason to not to pick up the Japanese version if you come across that one first. But either way, please, if you really like Game Boy games, especially if you like Shmup's or the works of HAL Laboratory, then you owe it to yourself to check out Trax and track down a copy as fast as you can. And that brings us to the end of another Boyographic, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and please let me know where you found the channel if you did. A massive, massive, massive shout out to my friend Stu at Ninja Bear Hug on Twitter, and I will put a link to his channel in the description if you haven't seen it already. He gave me a shout out, and I got a lot of new subscribers, so if you're coming from Stu, welcome folks. If you'd like to see more, why not check out more of the Boyographic series in which I look at the highs and lows of the Game Boy library, some Boy Curious videos in which I look at some oddities and bootlegs for the system. Don't worry folks, there will be more of those videos coming up very, very soon. And also check out our All the Glory playthrough experience, but without any tedious extra minutes you don't need. If you want to chat to me, please leave a comment down below, and if you'd like to get in touch with me on Twitter, you can do so at GameBoyle. I also host a weekly podcast called Tom and Matt Attack, which is available on iTunes, which you can check out, and that Twitter is at TMAcast. Until next time, Game Boys and Girls, game on.